Let's see. Okay, it says we're live. Hopefully everything is good. Gonna bring up my document. I'm ready to work. Not quite, but yeah, I'm close to ready to work. Just a note for myself on where we're starting today. But yeah, that's where we are today. Is I am mostly ready to work. Hopefully trying to get some good stuff done. I will be editing later today. Also, Bestie has asked me to critique something of hers. So I've been going through that. And it's good. It's good. So I'm excited about it. But yeah, so we critique partnering, doing stuff. I've been doing that in the evenings for Bestie. And trying to sort of like stay focused on my stuff during the day as well. So, but we're getting it done. We're getting it done. That's the thing. It is Friday though, which means it's fun time as well. Hopefully it's fun time. So I've pulled up one of my sort of fun side projects. I mean, I do need to get like the main project works done, but I like sometimes I need a break and like one of the fun projects. So, I mean, it will be a fun project. It's not like necessarily in the funnest shape at the moment, but we're gonna get there. So, what else? Next week is potentially pop-ups rather than the regularly scheduled, because I have potential jury summons. Look at this hair that just catches the light there. So I have to call the jury line Sunday night to see if they want me on Monday to show up to the courthouse. And then if I don't get summoned on Monday morning, then like I have to call Monday night and see if they want me Tuesday, et cetera, et cetera. Based on my number, I suspect that we will have a stream on Monday and then I will be summoned Tuesday. But I can't guarantee that. So I do have the thumbnails made. I just haven't scheduled any of them. So I will be able to schedule in the evening. What time do I need to call? It says on the night. Yeah, it just says on the night before your approach. I think it's like after 5 p.m. if I'm remembering right. But yeah, and then I have to remember to bring that yellow sheet with me. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm allowed to bring crochet hook. If I do, I think I need to bring one of the bamboo ones because I don't know that I'll be allowed to bring the metal ones. I don't know that I'll be allowed to bring it at all. But I figure there's probably going to be a bunch of waiting around. So I would like to bring crochet. Has anybody like gone to a jury summons selection anytime recently? And like, I don't know. I think it would be interesting and fun. I just like, timing wise, it always happens. The summons and or whatever your jury duty is feels like it always happens. Like you have other things planned, right? So anyway, but like I think it would be interesting to see the process from that side. But again, that's because I haven't gone through it yet, so I don't know. But yeah, so all that to say, next week's streams are going to be tentatively the normal time, but I don't know. So I'll do my best to post them the night before once I know for sure that I like am cleared to do so. But if I get summoned and they like want to keep me to be a juror, I don't know. So we'll see. Diane says, hello, hello, welcome. You need to mow the yard, but the procrastinating work area. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. So let's see, what color is that? My blues. My blues right here are all my like declutter and organization. And as you can tell, there's like none of it done this quarter yet. So I have not been organizing. Stacy says, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Oh, I think our either garbage or recyclemen are here based on the squeal of those brakes. Diane says, hello, ladies. Kara's letting us know that AutoCrit is running a 3-hour free sprint event. So there's the link for that if you want to stream hop and multi-stream, whatever you want to call it. Kara says, one positive thing about your health being trash, you can get your doctor to write you a note to just get you out of jury duty. Yeah, and that's maybe I should have done that originally, because originally it was that I needed to get my gallbladder out. And so I deferred it. And yeah, so, and the jury clerk, when I called, said that everybody's allowed one deferral. And I don't know if that means per jury summons or like in your lifetime when you are residing in that. I don't know. So I have used my deferral. So Stacey says, I just spent the last 36 hours speeding through a rewatch of Good Omens to get to the finale. You just finished 10 minutes and you're still digesting. Yeah. Because the new season is coming out soon. When is that? I can't remember. I know I've seen it. I've seen like the trailer for it and whatnot, talking about it. Stacey says, I actually want to be on jury duty. I think it would be an interesting experience. I really do. I think it would be fun. Diane says, I have been called to serve, but then it was settled out of court, which was kind of disappointing. Yeah. Which that was what, so I was glad because they have like a survey that you have to fill out of like, have you ever had this insurance or that insurance? Have you or your family ever like, witnessed a crime or been party to a lawsuit? And like, so unfortunately, my dad has witnessed a crime and called it in to report it. And my parents were party to a lawsuit, for like financial, like they had to sue somebody who's doing a Ponzi scheme in the 70s. And it took years, and they finally got a tiny bit of their money back. So they invested in this fraudster in like the 70s, and they didn't get any of the money back until I want to say like we were in high school. So like somewhere in the early 2000s. So it was like a 30-year. It was crazy. Anyway, but yeah. So then I have to go and remember like, well, what was that? Like when, like what years was that type of thing? So it was just like, is it having to answer all those questions? I'm like, I don't know if that makes me a better or a worse juror option. I don't know what's better to answer. So yeah. Anyway, and I also don't know like what the statute of limitations on those are. Like, can I ignore them at some point in my lifetime, or am I always going to forever have to remember when these things happened? Diane says, yep, my Kanban board is sitting next to me so that you can update it. Gotcha. I still have not updated my reading journal from April, the beginning of April, y'all. So I have all of April and half of May that I need to update for what I've been reading. And that's a lot. I like the decorating portion of the reading journal, but I don't love going back in and like recording every single title that I'm reading. and I don't know why. So I've got to figure out how to make it more fun to get into, I guess. You've had like 6 of them, so you can you could have used more. Your first 3, you were in grad school in another state. Ah, okay. It's come out and it's a 90-minute quote unquote movie. Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. So it's not like a full season. Diane stayed up way too late last night working on a painting. Ooh, in the end, you set it aside. You have repainted it so many times at this point. Okay, so one that you were sort of always finagling and never quite satisfied with type of thing. So are you setting it aside to like give it time to dry and give yourself time to look at it with a more objective eye? Or are you just setting it aside because you're tired of it? Because I have done both. Diane says that sucks. Yeah, for the financial fraud. Yeah, exactly. And it was, but it was, what is it? What was his name? You can probably Google him, like David, something with a D. Greenman. Dennis. There we go. Yeah. Dennis Greenman. So 1977 to 81. $86 million security fraud. Yeah. So there you go. My parents fell for it. It was actually because my grandfather fell for it and convinced my parents to invest. But anyway, Diane says, I remember when your mother was on a jury for a couple weeks in the 70s and she loved it. I mean, it feels exciting in some ways because you are part of the judicial system that normally, like, you feel like a kind of an outsider in. And so you get to be a part of that process. But it's also kind of scary because, like, they feel like very permanent decisions that you are making, even though with appeals and everything, it's not necessarily super permanent, but sometimes it is. But also, like, you know, if you're like small family versus insurance company, generally, I would be on, and that's probably why I would not make a great juror. But we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, Kara says, my anxiety would make it so I couldn't sleep, and you would be emotional wreck the next day if you had to do jury duty. Yeah, so it's like, I also don't know how fast. So if I am selected to serve on a jury, does that case start, or does that start immediately, or is it like, oh, you know, next month you're going to report? I don't know how fast or how slow things move. Okay, so it's a 30 by 40 painting, larger than you usually do. You're setting it aside to get focus on what the heck you want it to be, and you keep changing it. 30 by 40. That is big. I'm trying to think of what size those are. Hang on. Hang on. Okay, what are you? Ouch. Okay, so I have some of these. What are these? 16 by 20. So it's double this size, which is very big. So double that. 2 of these put together makes the size that you're doing. Okay. I need, again, I'm terrible with spatial things. Like, terrible. And so it's also very dusty because I haven't used them at all. I have a little cubby where I keep my canvases and canvas boards and the easel that my family got me and everything. So But yeah, that is big. Setting aside to get focused on what the heck you want it to be. Yeah. Yeah. Again, like I would love to try a bunch of different art forms because I would love to learn oil painting because I've been told I use my acrylics like I should be using oils. I'm not sure if that's a compliment or not. And ooh, I did find there's a clay studio in town that does like a try clay 2-hour lesson where you can choose either the wheel class or the hand building class. And it's like $35 per person, which is not bad. And they include the price of the clay and the glaze and the firing that they do for you. So they do 2 pieces. I'm assuming they're small pieces, like a cup and a plate, or 2 cups or something. They book out like 2 months in advance. But I'm like, I want to go. So we're trying to figure out some health things for mom. So she's got an appointment at the end of May for that. And so I kind of want to know what the situation is with that before I like book us a clay studio thing. But I think I'm like, that's a very reasonable price. There's another, so they do that. So they have like the wheel class and the hand building class. And you get to make like 2 pieces, and they have like a glaze of the week. So hopefully you get a good glaze that you like. And then they glaze it for you once it's dried enough, I guess, because you have to let it dry before you glaze it. What is that? What's the term? Oh gosh, I've watched enough. I feel like I've watched enough. Anyway, I can't remember. It's not bisque. Maybe it is. I don't know. Anyway, so they have the glaze of the week, and then they fire it, and so you come pick up your pieces like 2 to 3 weeks later. So they have that, and then they do have like where you can sort of like rent studio space from them, like you pay a monthly fee and you go in, and I don't remember I think you have to pay for your clay separate from like the studio fee. But the studio fee gets you access to the kilns and the wheels and all that kind of stuff. But that's a much more expensive price. So that's why they host the like try clay things. They also have like a Sunday. Those are usually on Saturday, by the way. So then they have a Sunday, I want to say like a 4-hour, either a 3 or a 4-hour thing. I may be misremembering because there's several different clay studios in town. Because again, it's a university town, so there's more sort of like liberal art type things around, which is nice. But the other ones that I've looked into are a little lesser known, and also more expensive for their try stuff. But anyway, so I think I'm going to do that at some point and soon in the future. And so I don't think I'm allowed to like bring the camera and be like, ooh. But it'll be nice. Maybe I can make a mini vlog out of it. I don't know. We'll see. Your mom was a stay-at-home mom. My dad was a stay-at-home dad. You don't know if that was the case of, oh, okay. So she enjoyed it because she got to like do something with her day that was not centered around the house. Gotcha. Depends on the case. It could start a few weeks later if it's a high profile one, but most of them are a day to a day and a half. So probably same day or next day. Interesting. At least that's the impression you got from Law Tub. Interesting. Diane's like, clay studio. I'm so jealous. Go. Yeah. I've wanted to do, we did a little bit of hand building, like coil building pots and things in high school art class. And then when we were in college, one of my friends was taking the ceramics class, and she asked, they had the exercise where they had to throw like 100 cups to get used to throwing on the wheel, centering, and making things like relatively uniform. Just the repetition of things. And so they were going to be like doing like hundreds of them. and firing them all and all that kind of stuff. And so my friend asked the professor if she could bring me in one evening after class hours, because the studio was always open. Um, and if I could throw just 2 or 3, just try it. And I loved it. I loved it. But I still have, do I have it there? Yes, I do. Maybe I've shown this to y'all before. I don't know. So I made 3, but one of them cracked in the kiln. But I have my other 2. So I have this one, which is a little wonky lipped. And then had the sort of like green inner glaze. It's rather hefty, so it's definitely like thick, thicker than it should be. But so that's one. And then the other one I did in all blue. And again, it's not like a fully circular. You can tell it's a little wonky. And this one has more of a matte inside, whereas this one is definitely like more of a slick inside. So these are the 2 that survived the kiln that I made with one of my friends in college. Loved it. Super fun. So I'm kind of excited to try the wheel class. But I'm also like, this is another hobby that I'm getting, that I'm like, do I need another hobby? But yeah, so that's sort of in the works, potentially. I have not, but it looks super cool. And I would definitely throw some hair in there. Because I've seen some of the line like crazy cool line work that the hair makes. And I'm like, yeah, sure, that looks fun. Yes. Plus, I mean, fire. So but I've seen some of those where like they're just art forms of sculpture, and like an octopus that they're raku firing, and it looks mind-bogglingly cool. Becca says, hello, welcome. You picked up the keys to your new place today. Woohoo! Yay! I can't remember. Are you moving in to take care of your mom, or you like moving your mom in with you, or is it you're just moving closer? I can't remember. Diane says, ooh, I have a garage here now. So if I ever come across a wheel at a good price, ooh, see, there's the thing. And this is my sister-in-law's grandmother had a small kiln at their place. So they had a small wheel in a kiln. And I was like, we don't have room for this, but it would be really cool. But we were there to set up the house for an estate sale, and somebody picked those up. So it was fine. It's like, okay, fine. Went to a good home. But yeah, I wonder if Facebook Marketplace around you would have a wheel. But I also don't know what the electronic specs, the electricity specifications that you would need to have a kiln at home. I don't know what that is. And I don't know, I don't know if you'd have to have an electrician come out to do it, or what. So, but if you had a wheel, and then there's a pottery place in town that you can maybe transport your whatever the term is, dried in things. I don't know I can't remember what the term is off the top of my head. To just fire there. That'd be interesting. Diane says to Becca, congrats, exciting, and do tell us all about the new place. Yes. Yes, Diane recently moved, so you get all the all-consuming focus of attention on the move. Yes, because the movers come Monday. You want more handmade pots in studio. Artists you used to buy from moved. Aw. And one you know about seems to do everything in earth brown colors. Ah, okay, so you already have some of those, but you want other colors as well. Gotcha. If you requested other glazes, would he do them? I don't know. Okay, so Kara's trying to pull us back to focus. Pocket archetypes. What is, I can't remember what L is. L 50? What is L? The offering position, half past, the gift, the present, the sacrifice. The card is calling for something to be sacrificed, something to be given up for the sake of the greater good. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. I'll have to think about that one. Becca says to Diane, thank you. And right, you're trying to pack, trying to do writing sprints just so you don't let the writing go by the wayside during the move. Yeah. Yep. One of your favorite shows is The Great Pottery Throwdown, right? You wish you could see the most recent season. Yes, when I ran across The Great Pottery Throwdown here on YouTube, I consumed everything that I possibly could. So yeah, love that. I really like the format because they've got the Great British Bake Off, they've got the Pottery Throwdown. I really like that format. It works nicely. But yeah, you love Raku firing. There's some cool videos on YouTube. Yes, you have no idea what they do is called, but you enjoy watching it. Yeah. Yeah. Diane says to Becca, I don't know about that show. You'll have to look it up. Yes. Please look up The Great Pottery Throwdown. Please, please, please. It's so good. They have kilns now that you can use in the microwave. True, and I've seen those, but those are only for like itty bitty pieces, right? Which if you're starting out and you want to make like little things, that's fine. So just moving closer. Gotcha. Okay. She's still in a nursing facility until she gets strong enough to get her heart surgery. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. But hey, closer is good. Totally makes sense to put it on the back burner. Yep. We need more plugins out there in general in the garage. You're on a waiting list for the local electrician for more plugs in the house. Yeah, I guess with a small town, you do have to kind of wait until they can get to you. Yeah. Diane wants to know, can I ask what your movers have charged? We moved on the coldest day of the year, and it was super icy. Thankfully, we hired movers, but man, it cost an arm and a leg. Yeah. Yeah. The British Sewing Bee, yes. Yep. And then they just did the knitting one, knitting and crochet, which like I've seen snippets of it on YouTube, and I don't like it as much as I like the other ones. Maybe it's because I do crochet as a hobby, and so it's like not quite as separate. I don't know. The small size of the microwave kiln is why you don't already have one. Mm-hmm. Movers come on Monday, so you have the quote, but you don't know if that's what it's going to be at the end. Yeah. Oh, okay. So there's recent new builds in town, so he's been working on those. Makes sense because he has to kind of do those in a timely fashion, or like at a specific time before the rest of the work can move on. Yeah. It seems a bit harder because it takes long. Yeah, and so from what I understand, again, because I haven't seen the whole thing, they give you a certain amount of time, and like they bring you in for like 3 hours at a time or 4 hours at a time to film over the course of several days for a project. But it's still like, I think they still did not give enough time for a lot of the projects. So, and I'm not gonna lie, some of the projects turned out really ugly. Unfortunate, but yeah. And also, So they did a challenge inspired by the Fair Isle knitting techniques, or like, which is um, there's a traditional sort of like specific color work way that uh, that developed there, and the challenge treated it more like any kind of color work would do. Um, so it was kind of a weird take on that. You watched Portrait Artist of the Year. Oh, those are good too. There's also a landscape version, but you will need to check out the pottery one. Yeah, I just like I just need the BBC for like a whole bunch of reasons, right? And amongst them are all of the crafty shows. Becca says, well, I mean, good crocheting and knitting takes time. It seems like this might not work out as an entertaining show. Yeah. Yeah. And they have to make drama out of like drama that's not there in a way. So yeah. I don't know. Becca's like, right, I need BBC too. Yeah. It's like the BBC is often sort of like wrapped up with a bunch of other channels and things. And I'm like, I don't need the other things. I just want BBC. I'll take History Channel too, but you know, like the rest of the stuff I don't need. So yeah. Okay. I've been just chatting away here. We need cats and we need card, and then we need work and words or packing for Becca. Okay, Thursday. I like petunias, but I'd rather have petuna. This is a cat face that would definitely not turn down tuna. And then we have today's basic question to ask yourself when shopping for furniture. Does it match the cat? This is actually a very good question that you should ask when you have pets. Is their fur going to stand out with the color of the cushions or whatnot? Like, are you going to constantly see on a black couch or a dark gray couch your white cat's fur? Or conversely, if you have a light cream and you have a black cat, are you're going to see the fur? That's a very important question, actually. So, I mean, if you have a calico cat, then you may be screwed because they have multicolored fur, you know. But okay, we have the brown bear, but it is inverted. It's number 9. Okay. So here is the brown bear. And the main message is to take time out. When you become so frazzled that you cannot decide how to move forward, the brown bear arrives to remind you to let go of impatience in getting to the answers and solving the problem that faces you. Now is the time for rest and meditation. Take a break. Let insights arise and know that you have plenty of time to make plans. The brown bear reminds you that sometimes the best and most effective action is non-action, allowing the situation around you to reveal itself to you so that you can better understand it. Remember that what is yours will never be withheld from you, so that you can really relax and wait until the next right action is revealed. Miracles come from out of nowhere, and yours will arrive on the Great Spirit's timetable. So, in this case, Becca, I would remind you to take some water breaks and some breaks from the physical action, and also that you don't have to have everything perfectly planned. You just like you'll find a place for everything once you get to the new place. But for now, make sure you're taking care of yourself as you are packing. So, Like my light color Jack Russell and your dark wood floors. Yes, that too. That too. We have a tricolored beagle or just plain screwed. Yes. And you need the brown bear energy, although you can't quite do the relax just yet because the movers come on Monday. Yes, but you do need breaks. You need breaks. Need breaks? You need hydration. You need stretch breaks because you don't want to injure yourself while you're packing things and moving things. Once you find a place, you'll change your mind. Also a possibility. All right, let's do this. Let's start with the rubber duckies. Share screen, rubber ducky. Make it big. Okay, here we go. 1, save your document or pull it up if you haven't started working yet. 2 is make sure you have something to hydrate with and go ahead and take a sip. Cheers. 3 is straighten your spine or roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4 is if you need that break, take a break. Here we go. First sprint, 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. How'd we do? I think I got the bones of one scene fully fleshed, like fully written the bones down. Anyway, yeah, because if I've just got the bones and it's not fleshed out, whatever. It's fine. Words are good. um, yeah, so I've got the bones for one scene plus a little bit more. Um, so doing good. Progress. Kara pulled the 3-card tarot for today, past Ace of Wands. You had Wands the other day. So present, Sun, okay, and future Chariot. Interesting. Okay, so you have two major arcanas. Sun is often sort of like that persona that you present to the world, your sort of outward facing personality / face. Chariot is card of action, card of movement and progress. Kara has posted a link for us. Music with fantasy flavor. Ooh, nice. Be sure to check that out. And Becca has packed 2 crates. Yay! Excellent. Good job. Progress is fantastic. It's also really like weirdly chilly here today. Like it's just now reached 72 degrees. And it's been like cold in the house. So like I'm actually wearing 2 layers under my shirt. So which is not normal for like mid-May at all. But hey, I guess I'll take the coolness while I can still get it, because the summer in Georgia is always really hot and super dry. So you're trying out a company called Stacks, where you rent out plastic crates for 7 days. Oh, like are they milk crates or are they like more like totes? You pack everything in them, have the movers move them, and then they come pick up the crates at the new place. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, and so what day did you like receive them / pick them up? So that you know like solid totes big. Okay, great. That way hopefully you have a little bit of time once you're in your new place to unpack them. But yeah. Diane varnished some paintings. Excellent. I've not actually varnished anything before, so I've seen videos online of people like pouring it, but then I've also seen like the comments of like, no, thin layers only. um, so yeah. And you've also piddled around with the Kanban board. You think you put too much on there. I always put too much on mine. Always. Hence why none of the blue stuff has moved. Barely any of this pink stuff has moved. And I honestly thought this pink stuff would be moving way quicker. The blue stuff, the purple stuff here is doing okay. And then this green stuff up at the top is very much long-term stuff. I shouldn't even put it on there, but I just keep it on there as reminders. So yeah. It's about 70 in LA too. Yeah. I don't know why it's cooler this year, but it is. Kara says it's 74 and dry in northeastern Colorado Plains. Yeah, the temperature is going to drop over the weekend. Yeah. Yeah, and I think we're expecting some rain and like a cool front. Which is just like, it's weird. She says 7 days would not be enough time for me. I mean, if I used the majority of the totes for books and then I got the bookshelves moved, then I could like empty, and like clothes. So like bigger items or items of only one category, I feel like would be good. some Transformer blue, I think, just then. Somebody's Transformer anyway. Stacy's like, 7 days would not be enough time for me. You got them yesterday. Okay, so you're returning them Wednesday. Definitely motivates you to unpack quicker. Yeah. Yeah. Use the spray varnish. Easier for you and archival. Ooh, nice. I like that. It's such a great alternative to buying a bunch of boxes and tape and then figuring out what to do with all of the boxes afterwards. True. We did the boxes and the tape for like my move from my apartment back to my parents' place. And then we had them in storage for a really long time. And then we wound up using them for our move here, which was great that we had them. And then slowly over time, those became our donation boxes for decluttering. And so now they are all gone. And we wish we had more. 79 in Southeast Kansas. That's warmer than the rest of us then. The totes are big enough to fit almost everything. Nice. That's good. That's good. We wound up filling my Explorer with things to donate. We paid so many trips. Yeah. Yeah. Decluttering when you know you're moving it's a great motivator for like getting rid of stuff. Or seeing things in new spaces and like things you haven't touched in 5, 10, 15 years. You're like, I don't need this anymore. Books are the first thing packed, so you would need more time. They were not the last thing you packed last time you moved, but that was because you have books and shelves. Gotcha. You've seen folks put the boxes on Facebook in case anyone else is moving. Also great. Also just like stopping by the liquor store and being like, hey, do you have any sturdy boxes I could take? And because those are great. The totes we kept. Yeah. Yeah. We've kept the majority of ours, and then we have filled it with other things. So yeah. If you have the space for storage, it's perfect. Yes. And Becca says, oh my gosh, I am purge queen right now. Yeah. Yeah. I could definitely use a little bit of that energy, but we're not moving, so I don't have that energy. So yeah. But I do need to, as I said, most of this blue stuff down here is all like declutter and organize stuff. So I need to declutter a lot. Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and do the second sprint. Don't forget to do the poll. The poll today is about jeans. What cut of jeans would your main character use or wear? Would they wear straight cut? Would they wear boot cut or flare, the kind that goes out? Would they wear skinny jeans that they could maybe tuck into their boots? Or your main character would never be wearing jeans, like never. So those are your options for the poll today. And I'm going to star comment so I can come back to it. Don't forget to do your self promo during the second sprint. Things you want to promote that are writing adjacent. Becca's book, Kate's book, Chandra's book. All the books. All the books that are recently out or coming out soon. Let's do the things. 1, save the document. 2, take a sip. Cheers. Three is straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4 is, if you need a break, please make sure you take a break. And Becca, if you haven't hydrated in a while, make sure you hydrate. All right, here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, that was the second sprint. How'd we do? I think I finished the second and singing skeleton wise, and then on the third, sort of hopping around in the third. I'm not quite sure of it. Do have a couple ideas jotted down, just like bullet points for the fourth scene, maybe. We'll see. So progress is being made. Let's see. Let me scroll back up to where I had starred. Kara says, I wish I was better at getting rid of stuff. Holding on to things is one of your many, many, many flaws. I think we get attached to things, and that's very normal. But yeah, it's hard to get rid of things, especially in this economy when you're like, well, I can't buy it for that price anymore. If I can buy it at all, you know, type things. You decided to hire somebody to deep clean every few weeks. She made a comment about how well we were already on top of things, but that was only because you just moved and you decluttered. Yeah. Main character in okay, so this is in regards to the poll. The main character in the story Kara is working on is a dragon, and he does not wear pants, so he would not wear jeans. Yeah, decluttering is hard both physically and mentally. I would agree. Yes. Yeah, moving and like shifting everything around can be very, very stressful. Yeah. You're clearing, yeah, you are decluttering though, because you are clearing your parents' house. Yeah. And they were neat hoarders. The house was clean, but there was stuff packed away in places you didn't even know existed. Yeah. And well packed, I'm sure. Because that's, yeah. The place you're living in now is the last stop in his life. If you have anything to say about it, understood. You have new book promos up on Reader's Roost. Here's the link for that. And new posts up on Substack. There's the link for that. Stace says, my character is a fighter, so she has boot cut so that she can access a blade. Good thought. Good thought. I like that. I like that. Okay. It's like already 3 o'clock. It's fine. Well, if you have to go, I understand. Because it is essentially 3 o'clock on a Friday. But I will do the rainbow record for our third sprint. I think I will scroll it down to a 25, though, just so I don't take up forever of your afternoon. Here we go. Okay, let's do the third sprint. So 1 save. I hope I can finish 3 and maybe finish 4. That might be a little ambitious for 1 sprint. Okay, finish 3 and get halfway through 4. There we go. Let's do that. It's more realistic. So 1, save. 2, sip. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine. Roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4 is if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 25 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, there's the end of sprint number 3. How'd you do? I finished the skeleton bones for the third scene. And I think I maybe got like a quarter of the way into scene 4. Maybe. So I didn't get quite as far into scene 4 as I was hoping, but it's okay. Progress, I will take it. Funky is here, made it. So I asked if Funky had coffee for all of us. Funky says yes. How do you like your cream and sugar? So I said yes to both, please. So you get a coffee, you get a coffee, you get a coffee. Everybody gets a coffee. Diane's like, can I have mine with ice? Because Diane just finished mowing the yard, which is great. So all the progress. Diane's been busy getting all the productivity stuff as well as the procrastination organization doing. Becca's been packing and hopefully also taking breaks and hydrating. And yeah. And I don't know if Karma or Monster are home yet for Stacy. But yeah, all good. Frank says, of course. Then whoops, turned it into an icicle, a popsicle. I've never actually tried the thing where you freeze coffee as ice cubes and then you use the coffee cubes to keep your coffee from being watered down. I've never actually done that because generally I find that I am okay with the ice watering down my coffee. Because I think it somehow helps me keep the jitters at bay. But I know there's a bunch of people that make coffee, freeze it, and then use the coffee cubes to prevent their next day's coffee from getting super watered down. So Diane says, ooh, good idea. Yeah, I've never actually tried it, so I don't know. And I think that only works like if you have an ice tray mold. Like if you just have, your freezer that makes ice cubes for you. I don't think it would be a good idea to have your refrigerator run on coffee. That might create some interesting things. Becca says you got some of the kitchen packed and some books packed. Excellent. Yay. Good. Okay, I'm going to end our poll. It's going to maybe... Okay, we'll switch to live chat, see if it has it there. Yes. Okay. So for jeans, our main character, 45% of our main characters will be wearing boot or flare cut jeans. 33% will be wearing straight jeans. 22% of our main characters would never be caught wearing jeans at all. They just never wear them or can't wear them, depending on physiological things. And then none of our main characters are going to be wearing skinny jeans. Skinny jeans are completely out for our main characters, apparently. Diane says, I don't like to brew coffee when hubby is home, so you try to make it when he's not here. The smell makes him nauseated since he started a new med. Ooh, yeah, that would be rough. So if you can make it when he's not there, freeze it, and then make additional coffee when he's not there, then you have additional coffee. I don't know. Anyway. Punky says, that being said, cold coffee brew with flavor sounds yummy. Yes, and as we get into the warmer months, that will sound yummier and yummier because the temperature is better. So yeah, as well as like matcha lattes and things like that. So, and iced tea and Arnold Palmer's and all of that kind of good stuff. All right, y'all, I'm going to save the document. And I am hoping that you have a lovely weekend. Once again, Monday's stream, I will do my best to post it Sunday night, as long as I do not actually get summoned on Monday. I suspect my summons will be for Tuesday, like my number. But yeah. Oh, okay. Grounds. Coffee grounds for divorce. Anyway, so I'm glad the sprints helped. Yay. That's all we want. All right. Don't forget to save and make sure you're hydrating this afternoon, and I will see y'all soon. All right. Bye.